Hey traders, we're just getting going here. I'm waiting for some people to come into the room. Just set up the live stream. Hey traders, we're just gotta mute myself. So we'll give it a few minutes here to let people straggle on in. So some of my traders will be here. Some have been through this overview and have heard me talk about what we're all about before. So what I want to do today is just give you an inside look. I mean, a lot of times I'll keep this pretty open. I mean, some days we'll do a live Q&A where you just bring your tickers, or we can talk about any particular markets, or you can ask about what moving averages I use, all those types of topics. But today I really wanted to give everyone an inside look at a little bit over the overview of the model, some of the trades we've been doing, some of the successes we've been having, and then talk a little bit about how to get involved with us. So I do want to cover quite a bit of ground. We'll go through these trades we did in the room this morning real quick, and then I'll just save most of the questions till the end, so you guys can just do me that favor and hold your questions till the end. We'll get started here shortly. We're going to start with this pound yen. I'm going to give it just one more minute here. You know, I like to use the chat from the webinar service that we run the live room on. I know that there's probably comments that, at least when we do this on Facebook Live, it's just hard for me to go back and forth. So Euro finally broke down. We were playing that on the short side this morning. I don't know if some of my guys are still in it. So for the sake of time, let's go through the trade we did in the room here today, and then I'll give you the background and we'll talk about the model. So here what I did, or what we did, is we came in, we like to look at both price and trend. So what really separates us apart is, I mean, the people that have been in the industry the longest, there were times where you didn't even have technical analysis. It was all fundamentals or tape reading. Everyone seems to pretty much have a technical view these days, and we do trade a lot around the technicals, but the way we do that is a lot different than what most people do. And then I would say this next evolution in finance and in trading is understanding this concept of time. So I think we're one of the leading firms out there that's doing that. And that's what I spend a lot of time on, is teaching about cycles, cyclical analysis, and understanding the time component. Everyone's always just focused on price, or sadly fundamentals. I have a whole opinion on fundamentals. I guess we don't really need to get into that. And then I would also say there's this psychology, or psychology of trading is another form of analysis that you should be thinking about. But today we're just going to talk about cycles, which is time again, and price, which is the trend. So we came in this morning and we're constantly it's the same process that we're reiterating over and over and over. It's just about frequency and consistency. That's the keys to mastery. So we just grind on the same thing every day. But we come in, you notice we failed, made a lower high, lower high here yesterday. We played this on the short side. It was a nice day. We captured over 100 pips on pound yen. I talked about it a little bit on some of the socials. And then you came in this morning and it was the same thing. So this was a nice move down. This was the high of the morning in Tokyo. And then what we did is said, all right, we'll look to play this same cycle. And as long as we're not above this high, we want to play this on the short side. And we were talking about that when we came in this morning around 8 o'clock in New York. And so you can see how this played out. And not a lot of movement relative to this trade, but you can see I'll show you how we still were able to pull out a little bit of money. All right, so we came in. That was the thinking on the 30-minute. That helped define where we were wrong. And then this is the 15-minute chart. So I teach my traders how to actually view the trend the correct way. Just watching our videos, you can kind of pick that up a lot. But I call that our TMS, which is our proprietary trend following system. All right, and the cyclical piece, which was key, was we're watching this oscillation. And this is an indicator that, some people use it to consider market price overbought or oversold. We don't do that. I like to use this as more of a metronome or a pendulum oscillating through time. It's more of a rhythm. All right, so what we came in is we picked off the high in this cycle, and then we were trading around the 1 minute. So our model is fractal in nature. I'll get into that in a second. But we like to trade around the 1 minute in conjunction with the larger 15-minute trend. So this was a tough day because what ended up happening is this cycle flipped a couple times. So right here we had to play defense, and we took our size down, took our risk down, and then we waited for the top of the cycle again. If you guys can see right here, and this is where we started shorting. All right. And then you'll see here, this is 8 finally rolled over, which is showing this 30-minute cycle. And that's where we made most of the money, was right here on this move down. So there's the higher time frame cycles that we're playing, and then you can even see on the 1 minute. We were doing a lot of work today on the 1 minute, more than I like to usually do. But sometimes you get caught on you're a little bit early, and that's the best way to trade it, when you're early. Here, let me move to one screen. Is that better for guys? For those of you that are just coming in, does everybody hear me okay? Yes, you can see the screen. I'm gonna move to one screen. Just type a Y in the room if you can. All right. So okay. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so here we actually started the trade, if I remember correctly, right in here. Mine has started here at 8. But what we were focusing on is that this 1 minute finally started to break to new lower lows. And selling with the cycle allowed for some opportunity to cover here. And then literally we were reselling this 1 minute bounce, covering, reshorting this 1 minute bounce, covering. What's nice about pound yen, and guys, our model, for those that are new, it's, you can trade it across any asset class, any time frame. It's all the same process. We just happen to like the forex market as far as day trading. I think that's the best market in the world for day trading. Stocks used to be great. They changed the rules after the dot-com blew up. The day trade buying power rules, liquidity. They're only open 9:30 to the U.S. close. So if you really want to day trade, I come from a background in treasuries, which is this second deepest market. But you can progress. You can trade pretty much any size you want with this model when you're in the forex markets. And whether you're in London, whether you're in Eastern Europe, whether you're in Australia, there's always a market, there's always opportunity. And so that's why we day trade Forex a lot. There's just more going on. So this pair pound yen, what's nice about it is you can get 10 to 15 pips between the 1 minute cycles. So we can bid and offer and trade it around while we're waiting on a 15-minute cycle or a 30-minute cycle to play out. So we were shorting, covering, and then you can see here it started to back up on us. So once the 15-minute cycle crossed, again, I said we'd take some risk off, and then we waited to start selling into here based on the higher time frame resistance, which was back here from earlier this morning. And then we covered here, reshorted, covered, reshort, and then we actually sold here also because this was a break to new lower lows. And then you can see we got the follow through down, ended up covering like 141 right in front of 144 handle. Here, let me show you guys what that looked like. Just one account here that I was trading. Sorry, I have so many windows up. I want to share with you guys some of the slides from the options seminar that we do, the options program, and some of the slides from the trading model. So it just takes me a little bit longer than normal to pop through these. So here's some of what I was talking about, right? We were trading around here, trading around the 1 minute, covering, shorting. Here is where we took the risk off. So I was buying there, even though this was moving towards this resistance, took off my risk and waited. And that's something that's high level trading right there. Most traders never do that. They don't know how to cut the risk. They don't wait for the cycle. They don't leave a small piece on and then hit it with larger size higher up at the better location. But you can see then we were shorting into this tail, covering, reshorting, covering, reshorting, covering. All right, right in front of 144. Same thing I just explained. When you go through it, guys, in the trade, it's hard to, to forget it. So plus I went through that trade with probably 15 other traders talking through every move. So it's just easier for me to remember. But that said, all right, let's get into the model. I'll give you a little bit about my background. There's definitely some more people here now. So let's see, what do I want to bring up first? Clear that chart out. All right. One sec, guys. Yeah, so for those of you who are just coming in, just Save your questions for the end. I'll try to hit on them as many as I can. But just for the sake of time, I want to get through this stuff. All right, so here's our site. This is, you go to jenkinsrm.com. You guys all see this, the website screen share now? Should be able to. Okay. All right, so this is our site, jenkinsrm.com. My background, you can read a little bit about me, about us. But essentially, I spent the last 10 years trading US Treasuries on a professional basis, on the sell side. And we kind of had a unique model where I built a directional model that customers paid us to have access to and for us to cover them. And then we also traded the model as well, using the firm's capital. And so we had a diverse group of traders, and we traded a lot of size. I mean, anywhere between 50 to 70 billion a year in volume. There's times where I would be the best bid in the entire treasury market, on the bid for 200 million tens. So I know what it's like to trade real size, and work with the biggest of the big. I mean, I covered all the heads of all the primary dealers on the rates desk. So anybody that knows anything about treasuries, I don't know if some of you guys are bond guys or not, but usually the treasury group kind of leads the overall opinion for the fixed income group. So they're the ones that are taking usually more risk, or they're the ones that are giving their opinion about where they think the market's going to go, what the muni guys are doing, what the corporate desk is doing. So I talked to the heads of a lot of desks. They got my analysis. They got to know what I was thinking, what the model was doing, and that's what we did. And we had traders all over. I mean, I would have shops like DRW in Chicago that wanted to know where the next 10 ticks and 10s were. And then I have, portfolio managers or, Laurentian Bank wanting to know where I thought the next 50 basis points in 5s, 30s was, taking much longer term positions on maybe, a couple billion on their books. So anyways, we traded, took real directional risk. And then I left to start this firm just because I wanted to bring that same model to the independent trader. I wanted to trade more markets. And essentially, I just wanted to start my own firm. So that's what we've been doing. And let me just give you a brief overview of what the model's all about. I guess we'll do that next. Let's change my screen share. So here's what separates us out. I mean, there's all types of different philosophies. I kind of talked about this a little bit at the beginning, but this is the brief overview of our trading process. And should switch over in a second for everyone. It seems to be a little delayed on the YouTube live. I'm just noticing. But to keep it short and simple, so we have a model, and it's what I call our fractal top-down directional model. What that means is whether you're looking at the 1 minute, like we were just doing on pound yen, or you're looking at a higher time frame, like a weekly chart of Apple, it's all the same process. So it's constantly looking at the trend. It's analyzing the trend. It's analyzing the cycles, and then it's a 3-pillar process where we look at setups, which is execution. Because it's one thing to get the trend right? Like some of you probably have had that where you've gotten the trend right, or you had the opinion of where the market might go, and then you just execute it on poorly, and you end up losing money, right? Or not making as much money as you wanted, even though you had the long-term trend correct, or you had the right call. So we focus not only on just getting the analysis right, but we focus on the execution, helping you with your setups. I teach the traders about 7 or 8 different specific setups. And then the last pillar is risk. And so here's the 3 pillars, right? Analysis, execution, risk. So we have different setups here that we go over. It's an example of a few of them, and where those occur matter. So where it's in the trend, what location, where you are in the cycle. But these are all the things that you learn when you become part of our full access team, is what we call that. And so the model, it's fractal in nature, and it gets back to the origins of how I built the model. So I really spent time kind of researching time and understanding how that different cycles played out in the markets. And so I would do a lot of work on Bloomberg. I'd send different write-ups to clients and things about, I looked at different waves. We look at long-term cycles, short-term cycles. There's examples here I go over, real estate topped with the business cycle to the exact month, actually. Real estate bottomed in 2009 with the minor wave in the cycle. But behind the model, it's just this understanding of time. So a lot of you see on my charts, I use what I call the pie line. And it's just a simple discovery that I incorporated into the charts. All right. We use a 314 period moving average. So in all my days trading, everything on the institutional side, I mean, nobody really uses a moving average out past 200. So, I've just never seen it anywhere else, but that's something I discovered, the pie line. The reason it works well is because price tends to cycle away from that moving average, and it tends to cycle back towards it. And the reason being is because, yes, you're analyzing the average price, but you're taking into account X amount of time units, right? So as time goes by, there's a cyclical nature around time, and pi just shows up everywhere. So everybody's pretty familiar with that in as far as the mathematical significance of pi. But when you start to understand the functions of not just geometry, but there is a function that goes through the fourth dimension, which is time. So you see in cosine and sine waves, pi is a derivative of that. And so, markets move in these same wave formations. And that's essentially the gist of the model. We believe markets, I mean, everything is energy. It's the same way light moves from the sun is in waves. So energy travels in waves, and it's just energy going through the markets. That's why you find these cyclical concepts. And so we teach a lot on that. I don't know how much more I want to share with you guys. So that's some of the basics. Let me go back to the chart now and I'll kind of explain a few things. All right, so now I'm back on pound yen. Everybody see that okay? All right. So there's lots of different examples of this line working really well, but price tends to cycle away from it, come back to it. And I mean, you can pick your favorite currency pair. All right. Here you see we were at it. We formed what we call a bearish engulfing pattern, moved away from it, moved back to it. And it's important because a lot of traders, they have a bad model where they're trading just the 200. So they like to be long if you get above the 200. This is a scenario where if you were going long here, just because you're above that blue line, which is the 200 there, you're gonna get stuck. You get long right into the high. So this is an area that we'd be looking to go short, reestablishing a short. I'm just bringing up random time frames. Go to the daily level. We had a nice failure here on the French election. That was basically into pi. Same thing here. I mean, price can plug through these averages. These are areas. One I like to mention is on cable, right on Brexit, failed right at pi. So this happens again. I mean, there's so many examples. It's really it is amazing. And it just shows you that there's an underlying structure to the universe and to the energy and again, time and cycles. And when you understand that, you'll start to see this show in the charts. Anyway, guys, so that's what we do. I don't want to get too much into the model. Let me just share with you guys how to get involved with us. So go back to the site. Well, let's just look at some results real quick, actually. I want to show you what we've been doing. All right, so we've been trading a course short on euro for a while now. And we have a real-time alert room. It's a chat room that you can join for free. All right, that's a great way to get involved with us. Let me bring up our room. All right, so here's an example of our real-time alerts. So I have a trading team. We trade together every day, traders from all over the world, probably one of the fastest growing independent groups. And we just started the company, and I mean, we've got a great team already, but we'll trade whatever's moving. So when we're in the room together, we're trading, day trading a lot of Forex. But if bonds are setting up, treasuries, whether we're trading long bond or tens, gold and oil, whatever's trading day trade, we'll take a look at that. But then we're constantly talking about our core position or swing trades. And then all those alerts go into this room. So you can pay just to have the alerts if you just want to see what our model's spitting back. I mean, this is me covering my course short on copper. I've had that for a while. All right. I post that in the room what my futures P&L was on that particular account. Here's some modeling we were doing on, so you guys get the picture. Here's a euro, okay? So you'll see in the videos I do online and just out there on the blog, I'm talking about where I think the market can go, but then this is us in here every day executing on it and talking through the process and talking about what's working, what's not working, the psychology of trading, all that stuff is constant every day, all right? And I'll just tell you guys too, there's a lot of other firms that have educational programs, and there's a lot of firms that have prop programs. And I'll get into that a little bit too. I want to talk about, we're in the process of setting up a prop firm, prop program. But there's a lot of companies out there, guys. There's a lot of traders that they give you education. They talk about the trading day. They talk about the chart, the trend. And the educational guy, the guy who's running the room, never even trades with you. He doesn't call out a trade, doesn't walk you through the trade, doesn't say, hey, if it gets down here, we're buying, and then get you in the trade and actually take the responsibility of you losing money or you making money. You know, they'll just say, oh, I made this amount today, and they never go live about it. So we're really good about, I mean, you're going to trade with me every day. I tell you what I'm doing, what I think we should do. We talk about it before it happens. That's all our real-time alerts. And now, if you're interested in joining our full access team, all right, that's the team that we get together and trade every day. So you can get the real-time alerts. You can come into the chat room. You can get the analysis and things like that that we put out. But if you really want to trade, do this full time, or you just want the hands-on learning, you want to join the full access team. And so this is my group of traders, guys, and then this is going to be the team where I'm going to start selecting traders to move over and start funding. So I haven't gone out to the public yet. We're still trying to put together the parameters and things like that. But I'm just telling you that if you want to join and you want to actually get funded and do this for real, I mean, because guys, there's a lot of prop firms that, I mean, they mean well, they do some great education, but there's too many people in the industry that they stick their traders in a simulator and they never come out of the simulator hole. I mean, they're stuck there for years and years and years. Um, I've experienced that on the equity side early on in my career. You, there's places where you'll see that, and it's sad to say, but a lot of prop firms, they don't want you to succeed and get through the simulator, because then either one, they don't have the capital, or two, they don't have a process, they don't have a way of getting the trader consistent. So there's too much risk for them, or the trader just ends up falling back into the simulator. So I'll just show you some of our results just to show you guys the consistency in what we do. And that's why when you join my team, I'm not just giving you great education and leaving it up to you to try to figure it out. I mean, we're really trying to help you be consistent. So we've had 14 winning days in the last 17 trading sessions that we've been. So that's from the end of April to end of May, that I've been really keeping track of that for these purposes. But let's look at some of these results. So here's just this is just from our signaling, the model signaling swing trades and long-term positions on outside of Forex. This is some of the winning percentages we've had lately on our trade signals and core positions. So we're trading a lot of 30-year, 5-year, all right? But we're trading everything global macro. So, we have an institutional business. We're in the process of setting up managed accounts. And we do have managed accounts, but we're in the process of setting up CTA here in the US. So that's some of the stuff we're focused on, but we have a global macro approach. So we're applying this to a lot of different markets. And I think that's the way you should be. If you want to be a well-rounded trader, that's kind of where you should be. Here's some of the work we did. We like trading volatility. That's been a big talking point the last few days. You guys see the UVXY here? I was working on this. We haven't had a single losing trade on the UVXY. This has been one of our best, most successful strategies. And it's all using the model, but we just like this UVXY. My traders know, because it's got terrible decay. So it's a great one to play on the short side. This has been a great one this year. Let's see. Here's a euro, some of what we've been doing on the euro. All right. So this is what our signals look like. I mean, and we're talking about this in the live room constantly. Where is your core short? Are you adding to it? Where are we reducing? Where are we covering? So most recently, we just stopped out when we went through the French high. I was talking about that the last couple of days. And now we're back core short. So, I mean, I can share I even brought this up, might as well. I'm happy to share with this. This is just a few of my books that I ran on the treasury side. You can just see the kind of consistency. That's why I'm showing you this, guys. I want you to understand. It's great to understand how the moving averages work, or this particular option strategy, but you got to be able to put the whole thing together. And if you're not incorporating time into your trading, in the psychology piece and the risk piece, and how to work your size right, all those things, you got to be able to put it all together to be a consistent trader, especially day trading. That's why all these prop firms, they just struggle. That's why a lot of traders fail. They can't put it all together. But that's what we're great at. So you can see my consistency here. This was pretty good. This was just through 9 months trading here at almost 200,000. Big January there, 42,000. But this is from the sell side. Pershing statement puts this out. It's called an F10 adjustment. And then it's not just all about me. I mean, I'll share this with you guys. This is one of my favorite screenshots we've done recently. This is a trader. He's just trading small, but he's just starting out on the model, which is exactly how you want to be, right? So look at this consistency. I mean, that just does not exist anywhere else, I'm telling you. So if you guys are looking for a home, if you're a beginner trader, if you're an experienced trader, it doesn't matter. I mean, you can take this model and apply it to the way you've traded your whole life. If you're brand new, you're going to basically take 10 years of experience and get to sit next to me. I mean, I've trained 3 or 4 junior traders to trade treasuries, guys that never traded bonds, never traded fixed income. And um, there's a lot to teach somebody when you got to teach them how to think in 30 seconds and eights and different durations of bonds. So you can go that route, and I'm telling you, it's a long route. You're going to, all the losing that's involved with that, all the time it takes to get consistent, or you can come in, join our team, and you basically learn the model. They teach you that, right? This is all under our full access team. So jenkinsrm.com, go to our full access membership. You can get started, come into the room for a free trial, okay? And just see how we trade. I mean, you're going to learn a lot just coming in the room for a few days, because I'm constantly teaching, and that's what's great. So, I mean, when I first wanted to learn some new concepts, and I was just starting out in the industry, I mean, I remember I paid $3,500 for a course on options, and it wasn't that great looking back. It was a couple DVDs. They explained covered calls and like literally a MACD signal. But that was the start. It laid the foundation for my options trading, and that carried into Schwab when I actually traded for Schwab on the option and equity side. And the options group we handled, you know, we handled the option trading for the entire firm, all the hedge funds, etc. So, I mean, I remember I took my Series 7, I didn't miss a single options question. That was all because I started with an educational process and a product. So you're going to get training, but then I never had anybody sit there and trade options with me every day. You get that on this team. So you get the team environment, and also going to help you make money. So again, we're actually trading, we're calling out trades, talking about where the risk is. You guys click this video, I guess, if you want to learn more. But anyway, that's where you get involved. What other questions do you guys maybe have? Anybody? I guess there was a few other points I wanted to hit. There's been a lot of interest in the prop program, or how we're going to run that. I guess let's just talk about that for a second. So this is still in the works. We've been getting all the legal stuff figured out, and there's just a lot of programs. I think the industry needs to change. I already touched on the fact that a lot of traders they're not getting enough help, and they don't have enough capital, and you got to be able to actually have some consistency and some results to really make those programs do well. So that's part of the reason why I started this firm, is to really actually help guys be consistent. And so I would just encourage you to reach out to us for a small price. I mean, you're on the team, you learn the whole model. And then the goal here is, we don't have all the parameters set, and I can't keep this open for everybody. I mean, if you're really not signed up on the team by May, if you do want to get funded and start live, I mean, the program isn't going to be about sitting in simulator for 2 years and getting through 5 levels. I want to do the complete opposite. Get you trading live, get you the capital, get you there. You're going to be trading with me, so you're going to have much better results. I'm going to be able to help you manage your risk. We won't take trades overnight. We got the technology set up. We're still working on some of that. But if you guys are on the fence or you're thinking about joining, I'll just encourage you, because if you're going to wait till June or July, there is going to be a period where you're going to have to go through and show us some results in a live account. So we're not just giving capital to anybody that shows up. I mean, you're going to have to show us at least 30 days, probably at least 60 days of getting the right results. So if you're going to procrastinate and you want to wait around to join the team, if you wait till the summer, you're probably not going to be having the opportunity to really make some money till, 4 to 6 months from now. So I always try to encourage you guys. I mean, I tell this story a lot when I started at when I wanted to learn about the Forex market. I paid $12,000 to go into a program that basically just gave me some education through a seminar, and we had an educator who didn't call out trades, just was there to talk about the market. But I learned some concepts there that we brought into the treasury market, and it translated literally into millions. I mean, we had years where we did 8 million as a desk. All right, we have $50,000 days. I know what that's like. I also know what it's like to have $30,000 losing 5-minute streaks. All right. But the point is you got to take these concepts and bring them into the market. So I'm just always amazed at people that they have this dream of trading and they wait around and they wait around. And I don't know what they're waiting for. It's just amazing too to see the amount of money that people will pay. They don't even give it two thoughts to buy a TV, right? Or whatever luxury item. But when it comes to investing in themselves, they can't find $5,000 or $3,500 to invest in themselves in a program that it's not about the cost, guys. It's about the investment. And I mean, you guys know where a lot of that comes from, that mentality. I mean, if you don't have money now, you're never going to have money. It's just a simple fact. It's a broke mentality. But do you guys really know where that mindset comes from? It's really, yeah, no, close. It's a concept of worth. So when someone tells me or they're dragging their heels, guys, I've brought this program down as pretty much as low I can. It's a fourth of what I paid when I wanted to learn Forex. And this program is one of the best around. I already went through it, all the benefits, right? But when I hear that somebody's dragging their feet or they can't make the decision or it's about money, it's just a simple question of, does that person really value or what do they think about themselves, what they're worth? Because it is a question of, you can take one idea, and there's a lot of courses out there, guys, and a lot of them are poor, right? If you pay $2,000 for XYZ program, I'd do that. I spent $3,500 when I didn't have it. I spent $12,000 when I barely had it, because I knew that, all right, I can find one concept and turn it into money, and I can apply it and make a bunch of money over a lifetime. That's just a question of, the worth that you see in yourself. That's all it is. So look at that as an investment, guys, in yourself. And I'll just tell you this: anybody that signs up Friday, this Friday here's the options trading course. All right, just for rewarding you for making a decision and kind of helping you get that much closer to your dream, right? I'm going to give you this options training course for free if you sign up in the team on Friday. All right, it's an $800 value. That I teach you about the ratio back spread I use. All right, so that's what I'll do if you sign up this Friday. Other than that, guys, if you have any more questions, I mean, I would go to our YouTube channel. Regis, if you guys can put it in the room, subscribe to us there. That's the best way to kind of see what we're doing as far as, what I think about oil or the euro or any kind of updates about the prop program, or like I said, we're doing managed accounts also. So we got a lot going on. And what else? That's it, guys. I would just encourage you. I mean, if you're not on the team by May, you're gonna just be way behind the curve. I'm only gonna take the few guys that are on the team now to even consider funding in the beginning, because it's gonna be a process. So. I don't see a lot of questions. I can try to look at the YouTube here. All right. All right, Alec, do you want to put in, you guys can reach out to us at support@jenkinsarm.com, or just come here to the full access. We'll get you a trial. Come into the chat room. You can message me there. Love to talk to you. And that's it, man. I look forward to working with you guys some more. I'm traveling tomorrow, so my traders know we'll be on pretty early, and I'll be in Chicago. We'll pick it up Sunday. All right, guys. All right, yeah, you're welcome. God bless. Be good. We'll talk to you in the morning. Good luck out there.